When it comes to America's relationship with China, since about 1949, the US-China relationship has been prickly, to say the least, with a few notable exceptions. And in particular, there's been a special kind of love-hate relationship when it comes to trade. Questions about trade deficits in the hundreds of millions of dollars and the imbalances in certain manufactured goods create a lot of stress and hand-wringing on the part of American politicians and economists. Fears of a trade war create concern on both sides of the Pacific. The roots of the American-Chinese relationship go far deeper, back to the era of the American Revolutionary War. And in fact, the very beginning of the American-Chinese trade relationship started with just that, roots. In particular, ginseng roots. According to an excellent recent book by Western Carolina professor Luc Manget, America's relationship with China started way back in the 1780s with trade in the medicinal herb ginseng. One October day in 1783, a man named William Ewing set out into the mountains of western Virginia near the small village of Union. Although it was not used by white American settlers at the time, ginseng was well known among Cherokee Indians and in East Asia as a treasured and prized medicinal crop. William Ewing found 186 pounds of ginseng, which he was able to trade with a local merchant, who in turn took that ginseng to New York, where it would be bound for China. This particular haul of ginseng was destined for a boat called the Empress of China, an American ship that was the very first American merchant boat to sail around the world to China and to deliver a load of goods in order to trade for Chinese tea. You probably already know, Americans in the 1700s loved their tea. The problem was that the British East India Company had a trade monopoly on this crop, and they heavily taxed it. And any trade that America wanted to do with China had to pass through England, and Americans did not like that. The Empress of China sailed to Guangzhou in 1784 and delivered 57,000 pounds of American ginseng. They were circumventing the trade monopoly that England had preciously guarded to keep Americans out of the loop of the China trade. Therefore, America's trade relationship with China started in the immediate aftermath of the American Revolution, all in the name of providing China with a highly valued medicinal crop that Americans really didn't know almost anything about prior to the Chinese market demand. Of course, in the century since, America's trade relationship with China has become complicated and massive in almost inconceivable ways. But it may be worth pausing to consider that our relationship with China started with this humble root from southern Appalachia that you can still find if you look closely today.
Holler at your boy.